The Whitmore estate had always been a place of silence, polished floors that never heard laughter, hallways that echoed only footsteps. And in all her 7 years, little Amelia Whitmore had never spoken a single word. Doctors had called it selective mutism. Therapists had tried. Private tutors had failed. Even her father, Gregory Whitmore, millionaire hotel magnate, had long stopped believing his daughter's voice would ever fill the air. But one late afternoon, as the sun melted into gold through the conservatory windows, Gregory heard something impossible. It wasn't music from the piano. It wasn't the stereo. It was a voice. A high, soft, uncertain voice singing, and alongside it, the warm, rich harmony of another. He turned the corner and froze. His daughter was sitting cross-legged on the rug, her lips moving, singing, her eyes fixed on the young black woman beside her, the nanny. Gregory Whitmore was the kind of man headlines loved, a self-made millionaire who'd clawed his way from a cramped apartment to a private penthouse, overlooking the city skyline. He had built an empire of luxury hotels, and he ran his life with the same precision as his business. No wasted time, no loose ends, no room for chaos. But Amelia was different. Born premature, she was a fragile child with a quiet, watchful presence. She learned to walk late, and when the words never came, specialists lined up with diagnoses and treatment plans. Gregory spared no expense. Yet, years passed, and his little girl never spoke. Her mother had left when Amelia was only 2, unable to cope with the pressure and the quiet. So it was just Gregory, Amelia, and a rotating roster of nannies who never lasted more than a few months. Then came Maria Bennett. She wasn't hired through an elite agency. She came recommended by the elderly housekeeper's niece, 26 years old, a former music student who had left college to care for her younger siblings after her mother died. Gregory hadn't been impressed at first. Her resume was modest, her clothes plain. But something in her steady gaze and unshaken calm made him agree to a trial period. And now, just 3 months later, he was hearing something he'd never imagined, his daughter's voice, singing. From that day, Gregory found himself quietly watching them. Maria would play simple tunes on the old upright piano in the sunroom. Amelia, at first shy, would hum along. Soon, the humming became quiet singing, only when Maria was there. Gregory noticed changes. Amelia began smiling more. She'd tap her fingers to rhythms, follow Maria from room to room. She even started drawing pictures of the two of them, always with music notes floating in the air. But Gregory's business mind couldn't help analyzing the situation. Was this progress because of music therapy? Was Maria some kind of miracle worker? Or was it just coincidence? One evening, as Gregory worked late in his home office, he overheard them again. This time, Maria's voice carried a playful challenge. "Your turn, Amelia." And then, clear as day, a line of lyrics came from his daughter, not perfect, but unmistakable. Gregory's throat tightened. For years he'd dreamed of hearing her say "Daddy." Now, it seemed the first words he'd get were wrapped in a song. But not everyone in the household welcomed Maria's influence. The housekeeper, Mrs. Dean, muttered that the nanny was overstepping. A family friend hinted that Gregory was letting the help run the show. These comments planted seeds of doubt. One afternoon, Gregory arrived home early to find Amelia and Maria in the backyard, barefoot, spinning to music from a small speaker. Amelia's hair was loose, her laughter loud. For the first time in years, Gregory heard not just her voice, but her joy. Still, part of him wrestled with discomfort. This wasn't the life he'd planned for his daughter or for himself. He'd envisioned tutors, refinement, careful manners, not bare feet and improvised songs in the grass. It came to a head on Amelia's 8th birthday. Gregory had arranged a formal party, catered lunch, string quartet, imported flowers, Dozens of guests filled the grand dining room. Amelia, in a pale blue dress, sat quietly at the head of the table as the cake was brought out. The quartet began playing Happy Birthday in a stiff, formal tempo. Amelia stared at the cake, unmoving. Then, from the back of the room, Maria's warm alto cut through. "Happy birthday to you." Amelia's head lifted, and then, in front of everyone, she sang the next line. The room went silent. Gasps, whispers, stares. Maria kept singing, smiling at Amelia. Gregory felt the weight of 100 eyes on him. The old Gregory, the one obsessed with appearances, would have stopped it. But now, he found himself joining in, his deep voice blending with theirs. By the end of the song, Amelia was laughing, cheeks flushed, cake forgotten for the moment. After the guests left, Gregory sat with Maria in the quiet kitchen. "How?" he asked simply. Maria shrugged. "I just listened, and I gave her something to sing about." In the weeks that followed, Gregory made changes. Music became part of Amelia's daily life. Maria wasn't just retained, she was offered full support to finish her music therapy degree, with Gregory funding it entirely. In the weeks that followed, Gregory made changes. Music became part of Amelia's daily life. Maria wasn't just retained, she was offered full support to finish her music therapy degree, with Gregory funding it entirely. Amelia's voice grew stronger, her words more confident, and while she still loved singing most, she began speaking to Mariah, to her father, to the people she trusted. For Gregory, the change wasn't just in his daughter, it was in himself. He realized that some of the most important things in life can't be bought or planned. Sometimes, they come from unexpected places, like a young nanny with a song in her heart. On a quiet evening months later, Gregory stood in the doorway of the sunroom, watching Amelia and Maria sing a duet at the piano. He didn't interrupt. He didn't need to, because for the first time in his life, he understood this was what home was supposed to sound like.